Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Hi.
Where? Go checking out. Going up on nowhere. I promised that we would go swimming if she did really well at the chiropractor. So,
Okay.
anyways, hello everyone. We are talking about their eyes are watching God. I keep saying eyes are watching God. There. Every time I talk about it. So this book made me cry just so much. Um, there was a lot of just, you know, just sad moments, relationship.
Yeah.
Because similar with, I mean, Zora, just in general, she loves her shitty men. From what we've read so far,
Mm-hmm.
enjoys writing about shitty men and women have to deal with that. And so, I mean, but that was the day and age. So, yeah, this book, man. I actually only listened to the audio. I didn't physically read it,
Mm-hmm.
but nonetheless, I mean, the narrator was amazing. But I wish I would have annotated so much, like those, just the lines, some of the lines that
Right.
they would just. Oh, you tapped it up.
Yeah, I did.
I really should have.
It was really good.
It was so good. And it makes me think of, like, I mean, not even talking about the story itself, but like, how do you not understand? Like, when people criticize Zora's books, like, this hands down was my favorite so
Yeah.
far that we have read. And I understand why it's as popular as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But for those who criticize because of the dialect and the language and the writing style, like, not the writing style, but like just the southern dialect, like, how do you not understand this? Like, to me it was the easiest of all of the books to understand, and it was the most impactful for me as
Yeah.
well.
Like it wasn't a lot of heavy dialect, Southern dialect in this particular book. So I feel like people should be able to understand this better, if not more. Um, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it from the part. I mean, you notice how it's written, how she's married to each one of these men, and how like when it came to tea cake, his section was the longest out of
His
all.
section was the longest and more thorough. Like, you really get to see tea cake, and understand, like, actual moments that they're having together, rather than, you know, the previous husband was like, he's doing this, he's doing that. It wasn't a us thing.
Yeah, he's just working in the fields, and she's doing her duties, in the house. Then she left him to be with Joe, but Joe didn't really love her. He just liked the image.
The image, yeah,
So
yeah. And the first husband, I think that's the one that she asked, well, what would you think if I left you, or something along the lines of that.
mhm.
um, she, like you said, she was just playing her role. And a guy swooped in and saw this woman, this unhappy woman, and talked her ear off and just tried to, you know, just convince her to be with him. But yeah, oh my god, the first one, there was a part in the book, and again, I wish I would have annotated, because with this one I just listened to the audio. um she was like, I'm not meant to be in the field, or I'm not meant to be over there, um I'm in my place, basically. She said, so, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but I think that's what she said, is like, I'm in my place. And then he was like, your place is wherever I tell you. And then she says, I was laughing because I told this to my daughter. My daughter, of course, I mean, she's 8. She didn't understand. But she said something about my mom, my mother never said that I rushed through birth. So why should I start now? Like, and I was just like, yo, that to me, I had to pause it and rewind it because I was like, that's just a good way to say, I haven't rushed all my life. I'm not gonna start now. Like, and she really just tried to stand up for herself and right and wrong, but then she would shut down. In each of her marriages, I felt like she did that, where she would, like, try to stand up and be, stand up to her husband, but then, like, she would eventually just, like, there's no use for it, and then she would shut down.
I feel like with her grandmother pushed her into the marriage and didn't really educate her that well. But her grandmother didn't know any better herself. That pushing Janie to marry someone just because she had kissed a boy or whatever. So she's like, oh, it's time for her to get married now, and I'm old now. I'm about to live. She's old, she's grown up to the point where she should marry. And so Janie, I feel like she did not know anything about love. She just assumed, like, oh, well, if I'm married to him, then, I'll love him, or I will eventually grow to love him. But that's not the case. And I know Janie was naive, but I give her some grace because her grandmother didn't know any better either, especially with her grandmother. She was enslaved. So, yeah.
And back then you didn't marry for love. Like, that was not a thing. You married for convenience. You married for union. And yeah, it wasn't a thing. When her grandmother was talking about her mother, she even made a comment on saying, like, I love you more than as if I birthed you myself, and even more than the child that I actually did birth. I think that I kind of appreciated her grandmother for making the decision of, like, you need to be with someone, because back then women didn't have the rights that they had. And Jeannie wasn't trying to go off and find her husband herself. And I think it just, the timing of it, knowing that the grandmother passed shortly after she was married, she felt like, okay, I have somebody else to look after her. She has somebody looking after her, taking care of her. I can rest. And she did. And that was, oh God, that was so sad. It was like she was on her knees, and then she was on her knees, got up, flopped to the bed, and then died a month later. And I was like,
because I feel like when you get to that certain point, you feel it in your body, like it's almost time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's like, well, no one else is there. I'm not going to be around. Her mother is gone. Well, she's obviously living, but we don't know if her mom disappeared. Yeah. So somebody got to watch out, take care of her. So why not get married to an old man? She didn't care about the age difference. She just wanted somebody to take care of her.
Yeah, she wanted somebody to take care of her and watch out for her.
Yeah. And
then married somebody else. That was a flop.
Yeah, Logan. He was very interesting. It's very interesting. But then Joe, she loved his ambition. She never met a guy who was so ambitious and wanted to, become a mayor and all this other stuff and had a lot of money. So this was new to her, completely new to her. So, but I don't know. She admits she wasn't very intimate with him either, though, because it was starting to become very hard. So I'm like, oh well, she didn't have any kids with Logan.
Yeah.
Any kids she just didn't have any kids at all.
At all.
So I was very surprised at that point. But then again, by the time she was with Tea Cake, she was pretty much in her 40s or about to be 40. So I mean,
Well, she was in her 40s. She was in her 40s before her husband died.
yeah, I think
Because it says it mentioned when she was talking crap, or he was talking crap about her, saying in front of people, and was like, you ain't no young woman anymore. And then she spoke up and she replied, she was like, well, you're not young either. You're in your 50s. But he had made a comment saying that you're in your 40s.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Cool Gamer. Hey, Alices. Hey, Adrian. Hey.
Hello.
Leave a like, pop back out. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. But yeah, she was that husband kept, you know, talking about her age and how she's not young anymore, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he was ambitious, but over time it was just she was so unhappy in that marriage. Like, he didn't want her to have a brain and think and make decisions. He didn't want her to do none of that, like, at all.
No, well, he thought she was dumb too. So he thought women were dumb.
Yeah, women were dumb, and all she needed to do was sit there, smile with her hands in her lap, and make breakfast and dinner. I
Right.
can't imagine, like, I mean, I think it was a better pick than than the first husband, but like, emotionally, I could not deal with something like that for years at a time. Like,
Yeah. That was the
no,
first
my,
stay with your husbands. There was no type of, you were looked down upon if you divorced your husband or whatever.
yeah. And then during that marriage is when, again with Zora, she does mention hoodoo in her books. And so there was a hoodoo man that would come around and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
trying to heal the husband, as if, she did something. She didn't do nothing. Like,
Girl, he thought she was the one poisoning him.
the one poisoning him. Like,
Oh,
God, that
that was funny.
there's people and their superstitions, but
Mm-hmm.
I just the way she was treated, as if she was just like this prize trophy that you can look at, but don't think, don't touch, don't act unless I tell you to do so. Like,
Mm-hmm.
cringing throughout those entire scenes, and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
it seems so unhappy. She really was.
And she was married with him for a very long time.
Yep, like over 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Very long time.
No kids either. Like, how, Sway?
Well, he wasn't very intimate, and she wanted that, and because she thought that's what love was, where you're loved up with each other and stuff like that. He wasn't like that at all
Yeah,
towards her.
he really was just trying to build,
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
liked how she looked, because that's colorism comes into play, at least at the beginning of the book, where it talks about her mom and what happened to her mom. So
Yeah.
light complected, so people
Hmm.
like that part about her.
Yep.
So
They're like, why your baby so white? Why your baby so white?
and you know,
But this book was so good. It was so good. Um,
he had me in my feelings a couple times.
yeah, I think it's telling oppressed people in search of validation of power will suppress others in the very same way that they have been.
Right.
Facts.
I
Absolutely.
agree.
There was no intimacy in that marriage. Yeah. Yeah. No, there was none. Like, it really was just a you know, roommate situation. And towards the end of the marriage, like before he passed away, and she finally got to speak her truth, and the way he was on his deathbed, okay, and just treating her like shit.
Happy. I was like, okay,
Into the room.
like, dang, go ahead and die. Let her live a good life without you. She got money and stuff. So goodbye.
Goodbye. Like, and she took us so hard. And I'm like, girl, if you don't take that money, sell all the properties that you have and go about your life.
Their marriage seemed more like a contract than an actual love type of thing at all.
He probably wouldn't have got far had he not had a wife. Like back then,
Yeah.
not having a wife, a family to take care of was just unheard of.
Well, look at now. I mean, they do that for presidencies and stuff like that. You have to have a wife.
To be married. Yep, to be in power, you have to be married.
You have to have this look like you have this perfect family or perfect wife or whatever. So that's probably why he was truly more looking at her like, oh, she's pretty, she'll be perfect for when I start to become, do this and that. So, yeah.
She definitely was a trophy wife. For sure.
She's just been married to these men for so long. Well, at least for like her first husband, I didn't know, like for 7 years. That's a long time to be married to an old man.
Oh man.
Like, imagine when I thought of that, I'm thinking of Queen Charlotte and Lady Danbury, and she's with her husband, and she's just looking up at the ceiling. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, man, going through right now.
You're bumping skins with an old ass man as he passes out.
Right.
Man. Oh, that's a great connection. I like that.
Problematic too. He had some of his moments with his gambling and all that, and sometimes I don't know. He seemed manipulative at times.
The first husband?
No, Tea Cake.
Oh yeah, Tea Cake.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I think he was cheating on her with that one woman though. They don't really get too much into it, but I feel like he was having some other relationships besides Jimmy.
Oh, 1,000%. But even the colorism, it's like you praise the white passing, but then want to stomp the person that is white passing and show them the place.
Yeah. That's true.
I agree. They definitely look at lighter skin as like the more
superior.
Right. Yes, definitely. But then it's like because they're half black, it's like, oh well, you don't know that at the same time. So I completely agree.
But they love them some Janie in a small little town.
Zora made you see many sides of the same coin in this one. Absolutely.
Yeah. I felt so sad for Janie because she finally found happiness, the life that she wanted, to do things and have fun and stuff like that. And then the hurricane comes, and then that's when all hell breaks loose. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, why are you trying to dodge a hurricane? Like, you can't.
No.
Like, why? Like, man, TK, why'd y'all stay? Like, you should have gone.
All right. I appreciate that Janie, after her husband passed, had the best funeral for him, but then she like really just tried to move on. She did wear black but not for herself. Like she really was like, she felt so happy. Well, I felt like she was happy being, out of her marriage and being single and just running the shop. And then when Tea Cake finally came along, you could feel the joy within the pages of the book of like him wanting to show her how to play checkers And she was like, oh my God, I get to do this.
Mhm.
I really get to do this. You really felt like she was truly happy when Tea Cake when they finally got married on their honeymoon, like 2 days later after they were married or something like that, took off with all her money, all of
Yeah.
it.
I think overall, like, even though like she killed him, even though he was on the verge of dying anyway, she was still happy even though he was gone because he showed her the life that she wanted to live and how to live. And she's like, you know what, don't worry, I'm gonna see you again, type of thing. So it was just, I was glad that she found that experience that she wanted, even though it was a long, she had to go through some crap at first, but I think she was happy at the end still. Talking to her best friend Phoebe and stuff like that, even though people were judging her in her overalls when she was walking back into town. Like, look at her. TK must have left her, took all her money.
Yo. Are you talking about after the hurricane? No,
Yeah,
after.
when she came home. When she came home.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No. That hurricane, like, Tea Cake was so sure of himself. You know, well, even before then, I was surprised that she even started working because of when she was in her first marriage, she was so set on like being in the kitchen and not, doing labor work and stuff like that. And so I was surprised that she was actually working in the bean field. Um, and she stayed during the hurricane knowing that like the natives, Native Americans, like came through um and told them that the hurricane was coming and how bad it was. Like
Yeah.
a lot of them were just going through, and they were just like, they made a comment of like, oh, they don't know. They
Mhm.
don't know. They're stupid. They're dumb. Like,
Yeah.
what? They know better than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she said I'm not mourning. Facts.
I honestly think that doctor could have saved TK too. He was just taking his sweet old time. Because TK was black, and so it's like there's no type of rush to help him.
No.
So
No. I really wish they would have just stayed in the house. Like going out there in the middle of that was just
yeah, the wild dog. Oof.
what a wild fucking dog. Oh God.
And
God.
then
That
they got bit in the face. That's the other problem.
Mhm.
My God, that was so in pain, so
Yeah.
much pain.
I yeah. I wonder if they would have been safer in the house, but you know, hurricanes are devastating no matter what. So
Hmm.
he basically died of rabies. Rabies is no joke.
Yeah, like I said, he was already dying before she
Hmm.
got him. Like he was already dying. It's just crazy how they literally took her to jail, and then it took them a minute to realize she was fitting herself, and I was surprised they let her go, actually,
Why?
because she was black. Like the justice system, was different.
Gotcha.
Like back in the day, if you killed somebody, they ain't gonna just let you go free. But since the doctor was there to tell them the situation, that helped her. Just imagine if he didn't
Yeah.
go tell them what
Yeah,
happened.
she would have been in there for a very long time. I wasn't surprised that she got out. Um, I was more surprised that she had someone vouch for her to,
Hmm.
help
Yeah.
because there was just so much going on after the hurricane of, you know, people, they were still burying people. And so,
Yeah. But I mean, either like I just read this, like you're right. Like he still wasn't good. I mean, I feel like all the men she was with were abusive
all of them. Yeah.
because that's all they and like think of The Color Purple and everything like that. He was abusing Celie too. Like I think for them like that was the norm because that's all seen to them or whatever. But that's not an excuse for hitting a woman. But
Yeah.
they like that was then in her place, like she like their children or whatever, like give them a like, smacking or whatever, they'll go back into their place because that's what they saw and what they were told and all that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. There was a joke that while they were picking beans, one of the guys was like, they were talking about when he hit Janie for the first time, they made a joke out of it. Like, my wife would, I bet Janie didn't even fight back. She just cried a little bit. Like, that's not fucking funny. And you beat her for not for something that you did and admitted that, like, I did not do this because of something that she did. It was because something one of the ladies was trying to hook her up with her brother, and she didn't want Jeannie to know. Like, he didn't want Jeannie to leave. Like, that's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
that was a very stupid reason, but putting your hands on her like that, like, for no reason. No reason at all. Like, that to me, just again, Zora writing her shitty ass men in her books. Great story. It's just these men are just shit.
Yeah.
Hey Jan, I love this book. When I read it for my Great American Literature class in college. You went to college? What? No, I'm just you went to college? Huh? It's such a good book. I still think of the dog scene every now and then. Even years later, the film adaptation was so good too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie.
Movies. It's pretty
Are we supposed to watch it together? Like,
good. I still don't know how to.
well, I mean, we just need to schedule a day, right?
Yeah. We have to figure it out.
We can do it sometime soon and just like stream it private. Yeah. I don't know, but I haven't seen the movie.
It's really good.
Man,
Yeah,
for sure. I have to agree. I never forget the rabies dog in the bite. The dog bite was just absurd to me. I wasn't ready for it, and they kept calling it a wild dog, and I was like, what in the world is happening?
Like when hurricanes come and stuff like that, the animals are completely different. Act differently. They're on like defense mode and survival mode.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would want to.
But with rabies makes them more aggressive as well.
Yeah.
So for him to be bit in the face of all things, I put the book down and I was like, oh my god. What?
Yeah. He did it to save Janie.
He did.
Even though, like, in his stage, he was like, I wish you just let the dog bite you. I don't know why I saved you. Even though I know he didn't mean it. It was just, he was sick. So.
He could be an asshole.
Yeah.
He really could. And he definitely was sleeping around with other women.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
But, Janie didn't, he said he didn't, so Janie took his word for it.
Halle Berry's in it, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Why it always stays fresh in my mind.
Right. It does.
It was extremely vivid. Zora and Hurston really, again, this book has been my favorite of the books that we've read so far of hers. But you just she can pull those emotions out of you. Like, it really is crazy the way just her writing. She will make you hate people. She will make you happy and laugh. and then she will make you cry at the same time. And I think I cried in two different times. One when she got left right after she was married, and
Mhm.
then when Tea Cake died, oh, I was bawling.
Like the
Because
beginning,
I felt
mad.
so, huh?
I was mostly mad towards the beginning of the book, especially how
Yeah.
people treated Joe like he was some type of god because he got all this money, and they're like, we should just make him mayor. He got like, well, I guess that I mean, money talks. So if you got money and people never seen that type of money before, and then they start, and he was like developing their town and
Mm-hmm.
on the map and stuff like that, of course.
Yeah.
But it was just, it was interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. Pissed me off. God. Oh Lord Jesus. The first marriage seemed like it was even worse. So
Yeah, it was just, she just needed to be somewhere for her grandmother to die, in peace, I guess.
mhm.
Not to worry about her, but
Yeah, I completely agree. She just needed somebody. She just needed to know that somebody's taking care of her. It might not be in the best of ways, um, but yeah. Brandy's cozy vibe. Meanwhile, I'm dying 82 degree. Oh, apartment. I don't have central air. What?
oh, I don't know. That's not good at all. Jesus. Nope.
What do you have? Do you have a window AC then? Lord Jesus.
I'm sorry, Jan.
I'm so sorry. I have my AC on in my fan because it's like 90 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, same. I got AC on. I got fan on. It's hot. The sun is just doing its thing again, just like last year. It's just extremely hot.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain today, but who knows if that's gonna really happen.
Um, what else about this book? Again with Eatonville.
I don't
Where are
know.
my friends?
Makes me want to like go. If
Head down to Florida, see what it's all about.
I ain't going to Florida yet right now, but maybe in the future, maybe who knows? Um, I doubt it's like that anymore. I doubt it's like the town is all black. I feel like something is there, and or the company or something bought out that land or something.
Mm-hmm.
Probably don't even exist.
Probably. But I love that she keeps her books in the South, or so far, at least, her books have been in the South.
The thing is I love is that she writes what she knows. She doesn't try to write outside of what she doesn't know and assume.
Facts.
And I think that's one of the problems some authors do is they write things that they don't even know about, like locks and stuff. Just don't write what you don't know. And if you don't know, do your research. Do really good research on things
Mm-hmm.
before you write about it.
You're right. And Zora went down to the South. I mean, not only lived down there, and she writes about her parents, but also the stories that other people have, and recorded it, and used her typewriter, and
Yeah.
she actually was down there. So
Yeah, she actually was down there and actually writing everything what the people were telling her. She wasn't just like writing it like, oh no, I'm changing this. I'm gonna take that out and put this here. No, it wasn't like that. And I think not a lot of authors do that anymore.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate it what she
Yeah.
brought.
Hi, Becky and everyone. Long time miss these. Miss you, D. Thanks for coming. I'm good. I have an AC unit in my wall. In the wall? Or in the window? I've never seen a wall AC.
Hmm. Mm.
Okay. But I gotta call maintenance. Yeah, definitely call maintenance. I had to look at the temp because it's not hot here. I can't wait for it to be hotter. You're in Illinois as well, right, Elise's?
I don't need it to be hot. I need it to be how it was in the past couple of weeks, how it was warm but had nice cool breeze.
Yeah.
It's not that anymore.
No, not at all. It's baking out here. Like it is. I think we hit 95 yesterday. Today is gonna be a high of something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's so hot. Oh, it's only 87. Be raining soon.
That's what it says supposed to be raining here, supposedly. It's 90 though here. Yeah, we have air quality alert over out here.
Yeah, so do we. I hate those air qualities. Our pollen is so bad. You can see it on top of the cars.
Mm-hmm.
How bad it is. But yeah, maybe it's just stuffy in the apartment. Maybe it's definitely in the wall, not a window. What?
Something new, for all I know. You know that
That's pretty
technology
cool.
is pretty. Who knows? I never seen that before.
I have to look this up now because I've definitely seen a window AC. Haven't seen a wall AC before. I've seen portables, but yeah, I gotta look that up. Oh damn, I didn't know she actually went down there. Everything. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Zora not only grew up in the South, her book, what was it, Mealbone?
I think
Was
so.
about her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The anthropologist. She also studies, stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is definitely something that she's fully invested her life into. I wish there was a part 2 of this so I can know what happens, but
Yeah.
I have questions because I really felt connected to Janie and like then what happens to her home, like her business, like what you know.
So functioning, I think. Like I feel like before she left, she her best friend Phoebe was still there. So I have a feeling like her best friend was helping out with the store and stuff while Janie was gone.
Right.
So I think Janie had all that stuff. She still had money. So I think at that point she was just trying to live like the life she wanted, and still probably travel and stuff. Like do things that she wasn't able to do with Joe or Logan.
Yeah. And they were really trying to get her to not marry Tea Cake. Like
Yeah.
she was so happy. She found her, like she was able to enjoy being a person with him.
Mm-hmm.
What it felt like to be, to have someone who's affectionate, which is what she wanted.
I was
And
just surprised she didn't have no kids,
right.
like at all. Like there was not really a lot of intimacy at all. So it's just except with Tea Cake, she had some moments in here with Tea Cake, but it's like with Joe and Logan, it was not like that.
Yeah. Before she got married, man.
That
Remember when she got Tea Cake all hot and heavy, and then he was like, "Okay, I gotta go."
yeah,
Yeah,
but
definitely. She was not.
I was with them anyways. I would not.
Right. They were shitty husbands for sure. For sure. Yep, in Chicago. Lucy's 82 in my area outside. I miss Fault so much. Yeah. 82 is not too bad. I'm in shorts and a little chilly.
I like 76. That's pretty good. I'll take
Yeah,
that.
76 is a really good temperature for sure. For sure. Yeah, put in a maintenance request. But I think Jan mentioned how she's moving. So hopefully it's to a place with central air.
Yeah.
Cuz Lord have mercy. Could not do it. I just could not. There's places here, but each apartment has to have its own unit. Like there's laws. There's laws in the South, for at least in Texas, I should say, regarding weather and building maintenance, especially if it's over 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's over 90 degrees, you can't even get your electric shut off. Doesn't matter how far you are past your bill. If it's over 90 degrees, they cannot turn off your electric. So,
Oh
um,
God.
yeah.
Sorry, looking through the timeline, the chronology on the back of the book. It says September 1948, falsely accused of molesting a 10-year-old boy and arrested. Case finally dismissed in March of 1949. Like, what the heck?
And who was that?
That was Zora. She got falsely accused of molesting a 10-year-old boy.
Shut up.
There's a timeline in the back of the book.
Yeah, I never look at the timeline. We talk about it every time, though.
Yeah, like he suffers a stroke in 1959. Oh, Alice Walker discovers and marks Hurston's grave. Yeah, because we didn't know where she was buried. So Alice Walker discovered her grave in 1973.
1973?
Yeah. But she died in 1960. Yeah, she was buried in an unmarked grave.
She died in the county warfare home, buried in an unmarked grave. 14 years later? Like, how?
That's crazy, right?
Wow, dang. I saw you vote. Moved to Belglade Road. Why Negroes won't buy communism?
Yeah, that's pretty much her whole life.
She worked at a librarian. She worked as a librarian, but was fired. What?
Oh, she was in Haiti when she wrote this book. In September through March 1937 in Haiti, writes Their Eyes Are Watching God in 7 weeks. She wrote this book in 7 weeks.
That's crazy. It was rejected 1945. Oh my gosh.
She had a lot. I'm glad, like, she traveled. I see. It just seems like she definitely was having a lot of divorces. I feel like she was Janie in this book.
Right.
And then when she was able to get away, she was living her life, and she probably was traveling after TK died, you know.
Works as a consultant for Paramount Pictures. Publishes Dust on the Track, published Pet Negro Syndrome, divorced from Pete Grant. Yeah, there was a lot of
divorces.
Divorce Sheen. I think, was it Alicia that said Zora was a Rolling Stone?
Yeah, she pretty much was. I mean,
like, we know with whatchamacallit, what's his name? Langston Hughes.
Yeah.
But like, jeez. Carpenter, Baptist preacher, Lucy, former school teacher, attends. Let's see, the pig publishes. Neale's and Men, works on plays with Neale's and Men, publishes Hoodoo in America. Works with Langston Neale on Mealbone, divorces Sheen. Yeah, I can see her being Janie. Publishes, like, just the men, the travels.
Mm-hmm.
To Haiti.
She was working to so many different jobs.
So many jobs, and got fired.
And she was a manicurist at a time. But okay. a waitress in a nightclub.
Hired as a drama instructor. Like, just too many transitions. Put your roots down somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think she was scared too. But I think she really wanted to like be at home, but she couldn't because of the so much the trauma she went through as a kid and how her dad treated her mom.
Yeah.
You
Her
can
dad
talk
was
about
shit.
it because she loves it, but she wouldn't want to live there because of what has happened to her.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, Late Again Love this book. It's one of my favorite Zora so far. We have Laws on Brothers too, but it's about winter. Yep. Yep. I feel like her divorces are a reflection of her dad, Joe. Was with her dad in amusement.
Yeah.
Just not being able to trust men and be in relationships. Probably. But stop getting married. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think she was just trying to find that person, but then again, all the trauma and stuff, it took a toll on her, and she probably didn't know how to even to be in a relationship or know she didn't know what it looked like because she her how her mom and dad was, it was a bad example, so she had no idea what a marriage looked like or what love truly was.
I mean, most people don't.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you that's for sure.
Mhm.
Shoot.
I think
What does a marriage supposedly look like? You know? But the way her mom was treated, I wouldn't even want to be in the way her dad was. I mean, based off what she written, you know, again, she does write books to the point where she will make you feel things, right? Anger, just upset, the way that the women are treated, the way the shitty men are treated. So, just taking that in perspective, I still would not probably want to get married. But during those times, women
yeah,
didn't have rights. They
yeah,
needed
you know
men for bank accounts. Like they needed men for, to sign off on a home. They needed men to do all of those things. So it's like a double-edged sword.
and then she died like that. I just and with the unmarked grave. I really hope someone came in and like redid her grave and stuff and all that.
I really hope so too, because first of all, why was it fucking unmarked? Are we saying she didn't have $50 for a tombstone? Like, I don't know how much it cost back then, but like,
Thing is, like back then she was a black woman writer, and her work probably wasn't celebrated or enough back then for her. So her money probably wasn't that great.
yeah,
So
not even just the money. Like, where was the family?
that's the thing.
Probably long gone, but
Either long gone or they like there was 8 of them or something, right?
there was eight children.
She, I don't know, maybe they all went their own separate ways, and because she never really talks about, she just talks about her experiences. She never mentions any of her siblings or anything like that.
hmm
So who knows?
Yeah, I think she's Jenny too.
Mhm.
I know a couple women who are in the third marriage and they had trouble relationships with their dads. They do say there's the charm.
Mm,
The third was the charm for Janie. I could tell you that.
yeah, it just didn't end well.
It didn't end well.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. But the experiences that they had, and I thought what I thought it was pretty good with Tea Cake.
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy for her when she met him, and she was just
Like,
smiling.
I didn't care about the age difference. I mean, if he
Oh
didn't
no.
care, why should I care about, who cares nowadays? I don't know. It seems like if a woman dates a older man, it's okay, but if a man dates, I don't know. It's just weird. It's
It's
like,
definitely a double standard for
yeah,
sure. It's definitely a double standard. I didn't care about the age. I wasn't even thinking about that.
No,
But the town was just like,
they're dogging her.
right over it.
Like you was just trying to get with her and like celebrating her and her husband. Now that he's gone, you're like he hasn't even been gone or dead for 9 months, and she already with somebody else. I'm like, who
Yeah,
cares?
y'all were trying to get her. Like, come on.
Who cares? Y'all don't know what happened or what was going on in their household
They
because
were trying to marry her off.
making it seem like their marriage was the perfect thing, and it was not.
Facts. Absolutely. And they were like really trying to like, people were coming in and trying to marry her because of her wealth. And she didn't spend a penny of, what was in the bank, outside of the money that he took, which I thought, that really showed how shitty he was. And that really pissed me off. Like she was hungry. Meanwhile, he out here having a whole fucking party.
Mm-hmm.
That shit pissed me off. But yeah, that just to me, he really wanted to provide. He was like, if I didn't earn it and I didn't make it, like you're not eating it. You're not taking it.
Mm-hmm.
That money just sat in that account. Like $1,200 worth, which was a lot.
Yeah.
A shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember reading that Alice for that the town chipped in for her funeral. I guess they didn't have the money for the headstone.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Well, I hope she has one now.
My daughter's all ready to go swimming.
Aw.
I promised my kid that we would go swimming if she went to the chiropractor. She wanted to go to the chiropractor. She was set on it, but she was like, "I'm not letting him crack my neck." I was like, "I'm not paying for this monthly pass if you don't." And so then we worked out that deal, and I was like, "And if you complain one time today, if you don't complain one time today, then we'll go swimming." So I had to like kind of bribe that in because she's been giving on her. But yeah.
I think Alice Walker probably did get her a tombstone. I think she did.
That's insane. It's Zora.
That's disrespectful. But then she was popular back then.
He wasn't back. Yeah.
And some people were still learning to read too.
Yeah. That's so true. So true. It's just
Think of the access that people were able to get to even read her books.
man. Died alone in an unmarked grave. I'm so glad that they found it. Like it might have took 13 years, but dang. Now we need to figure out when we're gonna watch the movie.
Yeah.
So hopefully sometime soon. So okay, so who is getting her money now? Because this money is going somewhere.
Like she didn't have any kids.
She had nieces and nephews.
Yeah, so maybe them, like in her family, probably. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's probably going to a foundation or something.
On the covers of her books and stuff and all this, so it's like somebody's getting the money. It must be like her siblings' kids and stuff like that, and probably. I mean, I wonder if she had a will. Like knowing her, like Zora, she was writing so much. Maybe there was something in her writing or something that stated where her money, like in the future, if her work ever accumulated money, where it would go towards or go to.
Maybe.
I don't know, but back then, Black women writers were not respected until years later when they were gone.
Now I want to read Alice's book. She has a book, In Search of Zora Neale Hurston.
Is it public? Like, is it a book?
It's published.
Let me see.
And I mean, if it wasn't for Alice, it seems like she would have kind of fell through.
Yeah.
Bought it to
Oh, it's an article.
20th.
Yeah, it was an article. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna read that. Let me write that down before I forget, because I have a memory of a snail.
Yeah, it was saying in a 1975 article in Search of Zora Neale Hurston published in Miss Magazine, Walker began a process of honoring Hurston's life and work and uncovering her legacy by narrating her own efforts to locate Hurston's grave and place a marker on it. Yeah, this is it's small print, but like this is the article.
Woo! That's tiny.
And there's Zora. So yeah, so she has this article.
Well, thank God for amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank God for that. Zora has been a game changer this year for me, reading her books, and
Yeah. I'm curious to see what the next one is about, Moses or whatever. So this is a whole different story.
Yep.
Like probably the
big.
probably of Moses, maybe.
I'm sorry?
Like the voodoo version, maybe.
Maybe. Moses, Man on the Mountain. Maybe. Moses,
Because I remember when. Mm-hmm.
There is a total of, not including timeline, 299 pages.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That book is thick. I'm like, why is it thick? But then like,
It's so thick.
There's other stuff like the forwards and timeline.
It's so thick. This is not including, well, including afterwards. This is 205 pages, so almost 100 pages more.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
And she, because hoodoo, it was written so much into her books, and hoodoo in the Bible are very, like, they reference the Bible so much within the hoodoo practice. I wouldn't doubt that it would be Moses. Yeah. Especially, he has a sheep staff and whatnot.
Yeah.
So this is what we'll be reading this month.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's she couldn't afford the one she wanted, but she got her one, and that's all that matters. Probably whoever purchased her rights. Yeah. The article in the forward in one of the books we read.
All right, I'm gonna try to look through. Let's see.
Yeah. Usually I don't read the extra stuff, so
I just read the story.
Love it.
A lot of like pages just for the forward. I'm like, okay.
I know. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
But I really hope like Alice Walker, I'm sure, and Zora's friends eventually came together, or and eventually did give her a better tombstone.
Oh, 1,000% for sure. She definitely deserved it. I mean, I don't think anybody deserves an unmarked grave.
Yeah.
So
I just find that disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
Like, you had to know who she was, but then again, she was a Black woman. people be reading that much,
Like,
and
where are all these husbands at? You know, where's Langston at? They didn't even want to help you out.
he had a fallout, so no.
Fact that fallout or not, like, I mean, we're talking about death. Like, geez,
Yeah.
it's a bit intense for fallout.
For sure.
Uh, sad. I'm going to read that other book too, Alice book or Alice story. It also talked about what is this book at the end? I saw Barracoon. I know that's a very popular one. This one, the Barracoon, is not on our reading schedule.
Yeah.
I know that is a very popular Zora book as well. I kid, but am I? Thank you. Enjoy the pool. Stop bribing the kiddo to snap her neck for water. No, I said complaining. She wanted. Okay, I have a chiropractor membership, and in order for I told her, like, if I pay for this membership, like, you're gonna allow them to adjust your whole body like she used to. When she was younger, she used to love it. She'd be like, my neck, my neck, my neck, my neck. And now that she's older, she's more cautious about things, and like, but no, I just didn't want the complaining yesterday was just it was everything was a complaint. I'm like, girl, the sky is blue is a freaking complaint. Like, you don't complain today, I'll take you swimming. Like, good vibes only. So, but yes, we're gonna go and enjoy. I hate reading forwards and afterwards. I read a couple in her book.
I read a few in the other books we read. I just didn't in this book I didn't. I was like, I want to read the story again. So I was in a rush to read it, the actual story.
Yeah, it was so good. And I appreciate that this book was continuous. It wasn't like story here, story here, story here. Bone was a continuous story, but it did have, gaps in timelines and stuff like that. But, it wasn't a bunch of short stories and stuff like that. So I love that.
Read this now.
Right. I want to read Barracoon too. You have a preteen. Facts. She's asking for $90 memberships. Like, I mean, I'm all here for it. Like, I feel so much better after leaving the chiropractor. Like, my hips don't hurt when I walk. And you don't realize how messed up you were until you get adjusted. But yeah, she's definitely preteen. That's when you think your days will really start. Look, she better get out my face for real. Reading the other books before made me appreciate this third read more. Yeah, completely. I want to read Barracoon.
Same. I want to read it.
Same. We need to. I don't know if we can squeeze it into our schedule, maybe, but I kind of just want to read it just because. But I also want to watch the movie, so we could do like a Zoom link. That's always an option. Drop a Zoom link and then just share. So, put it on our channel or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Because the movie is really good.
Have you watched it?
I watched it a couple of times. I love that movie. I think it's because Halle Berry's in it. She just acts. Her acting is just on point.
Yeah.
And you will get even more emotional with the movie. I will say that.
Man, I want to be mindful of our time now. No worries. It's fine. I don't have anything to do. I am not working as much, so I I'm gonna go hang out by the pool and just like watch my child. But thank you guys for coming.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. We will be discussing Moses, Man on the Mountain.
No.
Moses, Mule, Bone, all types of things.
Mm-hmm. We're reading that.
Moses, Man on the Mountain, next month. So early August,
Mm-hmm.
the date. I have the paper around here somewhere, but did you want to say anything else or?
No, I think I'm good. This was fun. I look forward to reading the next book.
Yeah.
What happens next?
What happens next for sure. Yeah, I appreciate Zora so much after this book. So thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us on this read along. And no worries, Jira.
Okay,
No worries at all. But thank you guys for coming and spending time with us on your Saturday. I hope you guys enjoy it. I know Gabby will have her live discussion tonight, and then Brandy's is tomorrow evening as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you guys. Have a good Saturday. Good rest of your day.